What's going on, and welcome back. So now that it's getting closer to the end of the year, I want to talk about my love for Dungeons and Dragons. And you're probably thinking, what the hell does that have to do with it being close to the end of the year? Well, let me tell you. On January 1st, I always come out with my game room tour, which this is probably going to be my last game room tour for a very long time. Only because the room's so big. There's 2 items that I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to get them. I'm not saying I'm gonna get them, but I'm gonna try to. And if I do happen to acquire these 2 items, that's it, man. I can't game room tour in here anymore because they're so big. I won't have anywhere to move them. They'll just be in the same spot all the time. So I can't, like, once you see if I acquire these items, I'm not gonna say what they are because I'm not sure if I can get them yet. But if I do, and once they're in place, that's it, man. I mean, what after you see them, I don't know what more or what else I can show you in here, right? And these things like dramatically change. But once I do the game room tour, I'm gonna show you where I actually game, which is the living room. That's where I do 99% of my gaming. I hardly ever game in the game room. Maybe that'll change, like later on this month or next. I do plan on moving the room around and changing things up a bit. I'm gonna probably bring the Switch in here, and I'll probably play that in here along with my Xbox One X. I never got a Series X, or my One X. But when I show you where I actually game, that's where you'll see my living rooms. Obviously, that's what I started to say. That's when I game. But my living room / kitchen, I'm kind of like, it's kind of themed out in Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm not saying like I put tapestries on the wall and my kitchen doesn't look like an elven forest or nothing like that. No. It just kind of themed out. My kitchen and my living room is kind of themed out like in Dungeons and Dragons. That's how much I love this game, right? Even though the last time I played D&D, I was 17, and me and my cousins would get together and we would play. We were younger, we didn't have money, right? So we had the dice, but then we'd have like a piece of paper where we would write our maps out, and we had like the official character sheets and our imagination. That's it. That's how we would play Dungeons and Dragons, and our campaigns would last hours. Actually, I remember the first campaign that we played. It was about 3 hours. It was a 3-hour long campaign. And then another campaign that we did 10 hours. 10 hours. I remember playing that night, and when we got done, the sun was coming up. It was crazy. That's how long it was. Or that's how long it took us to play that campaign that we were playing. And my cousin, man, he makes a hell of a dungeon master. This guy likes telling stories, and he told some good ones. Let me tell you, like we never had like the books, like the actual like campaign books or nothing like that. We had the Dungeon Master Guide. I still have it as a matter of fact, but I think it was the original for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Second edition, first edition, I can't remember, but we would use that, and then like I said, just our imaginations, and we'd write these maps out, and he'd come up with these amazing stories, and we'd go on adventures. It was great. It's kind of like the way like the kids on Stranger Things doing it, right? They come up with their own shit and they have fun playing D&D, and that's what D&D is about, right? I know it's getting a lot of like people are talking bad about like the new rules. I'm not, dude. I have no idea what none of these people are talking about, because like I don't know anything about like the new rules, the rule changes. They're complaining about them. People are getting out from playing D&D because of this. Come on, man. It's a game of imagination. Use the new rules if you like them. Use the old rules. There's not a rule that says you have to go by this or go by that. Dude, make it up. Make it up as you go along. Play how you want to play. That's what these games are about, right? That's what Dungeons and Dragons is about. Of course, unless you play like, say, you buy a board game or the box sets of like D&D, then I guess you'd have to follow those rules because that's how that game was set up to be played. But if you're just coming up with your own campaign and with your friends, and you're just getting around, roll some dice and come up with adventures, use the old rules. If that's what you're comfortable playing with, use the old rules. Or if you grew up playing with these newer rules, or you started playing with these newer rules, use those. Or like I said, make up your own, right? There's people that they're so fucking snobby about it that, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, again, it's a game of imagination. Play how you want to play it. Have fun with it, right? A lot of me, when I watch TV, when I watch YouTube especially, I don't watch TV, but I watch a lot of YouTube. Most of the time, I'm sitting here and I'm watching Dungeons and Dragons. People playing and running campaigns. I gotta say, like Critical Role and in other channels. Dungeon Brothers, really good. I gotta say that my favorite, absolute favorite dungeon master when I'm watching these things is Deborah Ann Wool. I hope I said her last name right. Wool. Deborah Ann Wool. She's got awesome. She tells an awesome story. Good energy. She brings good energy to the table when she sits there and runs campaigns as a dungeon master. I was first introduced to her through. I'm talking about her like if I actually knew her. Actually, I was introduced her. No, I was introduced her on HBO's True Blood when she first came out on that, and then I had never heard anything else about her until I started watching like Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, holy shit! Now she's like a big advocate for D&D, and it's great. It is great, man. I love watching her run campaigns and or even just sitting there playing while somebody else's dungeon master. But she's like one of my favorite dungeon master of all time, I think, right now. Anyways. So I'll sit there and I'll watch I'll watch people like play, and I'm thinking, God, man, I want to play again. I really want to play again. I think the last thing that I've ever purchased as far as Dungeons and Dragons goes is Dungeon. I think it was like the original board game or something from D&D, and that doesn't play like Dungeons and Dragons. Like you're not sitting there and like, I mean, you're rolling dice, but you're like, it's like a traditional kind of like board game, right? You roll dice, move your character, different spaces, and it's kind of like it's hard to explain. One game, there's like 4 different games in this box set. You get one's like kind of like a race to collect the most treasure and defeat the boss in the dungeon or whatever. And you can play it single player, which is good because none of my friends played D&D. Well, actually, That's not true. My buddy James, where I got most of my game collection from, he used to play. As a matter of fact, all the board games, all the D&D board games that I have right now on my bookshelf are his. I want to say they're mine now. He'll never see this, but they've been in my house for like 4 years. Hello. And he's like, he comes over and he's like, never pays attention to him. He didn't want him in his house, so he brought him over here. But I would like to get together with him and my other buddy Mark and at least play dungeon, right? Because there you don't need a dungeon master per se. You just roll dice and move your character around the game board and have fun. And we might do that. Maybe this Monday I'll probably get them together because we'll sit down and watch the Monday Night Football game. And while we're doing that, we're always talking, so it's not like we're watching the game. It's on. So hell, might as well play Dungeon, right? But I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that's one of my favorite things of all time. Even though, like I said, I haven't played it in years, I just love the idea of it because I think it's wonderful. Now I absolutely love Castlevania, but I'm not gonna theme out my kitchen and living room with Castlevania. No. Because I like Castlevania. As I say, I love it, I do. But I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. I thought they did. I don't know what kind of scores that the new D&D movie got, but I loved it. Dude, I absolutely loved it. I thought that was like one of the best Dungeons and Dragons movies I've seen in a long time. And I like watching old fantasy movies from like the 80s and like 70s. You know, sometimes I'm like to imagine like if this was a D&D movie, this is how it would be made back in the day, right? But you'll see once I do my game room tour, I'll take you into my living room. Then my living room is kind of themed out like D&D, man, because I really enjoyed it. It's not a big surprise that I was a huge, at first I didn't like it, but I ended up becoming a huge fan, and I absolutely loved Baldur's Gate 3. I loved it, dude. I love playing that game. I played through it twice, back to back, and put over 100 hours in that game. I'm gonna play it again. I want to play it again, but this time I want to play it on PC, right? So I might purchase it on my PC and play it that way. Just to have a different platform to play it on. Because right now I'm playing it on PlayStation 5, which is fine. I might just play it 4 times. Fuck it. Play through it 4 times. I don't care, dude. It's a lot of fun. I love that game. And there's no, it always changes. The way I've been playing it, it always changes. You don't get the same playthrough twice. A lot of it the same but different. So yeah, just want to come on here and share my love for Dungeons and Dragons. You know, if you have a smart TV, I forgot to mention this shit. If you have a smart TV, you can download apps on, right? You got like different movie channel apps you can watch TV on or whatever. There's one called Plex that I downloaded on my TV in my living room and in my bedroom and here in the game room actually. And I was flipping through their anime section because they have like different themed channels, right? They got like anime and like hunting and sports and all whatever, mystery. And you would think that when the TV's on, it's on paranormal things, right? Because as much as I love Dungeons and Dragons, I like watching stuff about the paranormal. I don't know why, it interests me. I find it very interesting, and that's another thing I watch on YouTube is a lot of paranormal videos. Even though I know half of the shows on YouTube about the paranormal are bullshit, people are faking their paranormal activity that they're catching. It's crazy. And I just need to say this real quick because I mentioned this before, that how can a YouTuber go into a house and catch all kinds of crazy ass paranormal activity in one night? As a matter of fact, as soon as they walk in, shit starts going crazy. Cabinets open and close, doors start slamming shut, footsteps. But then you have like actual paranormal investigators, which are on YouTube as well. They'll go into a house that's supposedly the most haunted house in the area, right? And they don't get jack shit. But you send a YouTuber, supposedly a ghost hunter, whatever, and then they go into this house and shit just goes haywire, right? Come on, man. They're faking it. They're faking it. You know who the real ghost hunters are, and you know who the people are that are just trying to get views on YouTube. Where was I going with this? Shit. Oh, anyways, so I was talking about the TV. The TV and Plex. So on Plex, right? Different channels you can watch, but on their anime section of their channels, I found something on there that I was like, what? It's called Dungeons and Dragons Adventures. So you click on it and they'll have shows like Heroes Feast, where they'll make food themed out from the official Dungeons and Dragons cookbook, also named Heroes Feast, which I have, but I haven't used it yet. And you know, Purple Orb, Kill Kill Kill, and Desi Quest, and some other, you know, shows where people get together and play Dungeons and Dragons. It's great. Whenever I'm not watching YouTube, I'm watching Dungeons and Dragons Adventures because that's how much I freaking love this game. So I just wanted to come on here again and just to talk about how much I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I want to like to play it again. I want to play it again one of these days, and maybe one of these days I will, you know, get together with some good people and play a campaign. That'd be awesome, man. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.